All right, guys, we are back on the mat together for a 45-minute Pilates flow. This full body class is going to be 45 minutes and is going to work us from head to toe using 2 sets of props. We've got our Pilates stability ball and we've got a set of hand weights. I'm using 2 pounds today. I'd recommend staying light, but as always, choose what works best for you. We are going to be working our core, our glutes, our arms. We'll finish with a spicy core sequence and we'll set ourselves up for an amazing day. Let's shift our energy together. So whenever you're ready, grab your props and meet me down on the mat. All right, guys, here we go. We've got our weights set off to the side within reach, and we're gonna start in a child's pose. So take your knees mat width distance, your toes come to touch. And we're gonna reach our fingertips all the way forward, sink our chest and our head down towards the mat. If it feels comfortable to rest your forehead down, please feel free to do so, and just take your knees wide so you're feeling that opening in the inner thighs. We're gonna start with a few deep breaths here. So I want you to take a deep breath in through the nose, fill yourself all the way up, feel your back ribs expand, and on the exhale, breathe out your mouth and let something go. Again, let's breathe in through the nose. We fill the back ribs all the way up, and at the top, we let it go out the mouth. Let's go one more here. Make it the deepest breath you've had all day. We breathe in through the nose and let it go out the mouth. We're gonna walk the fingertips over to the right side of the mat. So crawl yourself over, maybe your fingers come off the mat. And we just start to anchor down through that left palm, opening up through your left side ribs, creating some space. And as you breathe in through your nose, I want you to feel your right side ribs really expand here. And as you exhale, feel them close in through center. Let's go one more deep breath here. We breathe in through the nose, feeling that stretch and that opening on the left side. And as you exhale, feel that release. We're gonna walk our fingertips back through center and come over to the other side. So fingers reach off the mat. We anchor down through that right palm and find that space on your right side. Feel those right ribs start to open with each inhale. We breathe in through the nose and exhale out the mouth. One more deep breath here, maybe crawling your fingertips 1 more inch. And as you exhale, we let it go. We're gonna meet back in through center, so crawl your fingertips to the top of the mat and come up into a tabletop position. So our knees are under our hips, our hands are under our shoulders. We're gonna start with a few cat-cows. Sink the belly low, open up through the chest, draw those shoulders back as you lift your gaze. And on your exhale, we round through the back, draw the chin towards the chest. Let's do a couple more here. We inhale, come through center, sink the belly low, draw the shoulders back. And on your exhale, we round through the spine, draw the chin to the chest, exhale. One more here, make it nice and big, coming through center. We inhale, lift the gaze, open the chest, and exhale, round, pressing through the shoulder blades, drawing that chin towards your chest. Let's meet in a neutral tabletop position. So long line from the top of your head, out your tailbone. We're gonna extend the right arm forward and then lift the left leg all the way back. So reaching those fingertips and toes away in opposition. We take a deep breath in to prepare. And as we exhale, we curl through center, drawing that knee and elbow together. We inhale, go long. We exhale, round through the back, draw knee and elbow in through center, and inhale, go long. Let's go 6 like this. 5. Exhale as you come in and inhale as you go long. For 3. For 2. We're gonna hold it long and pulse right here. Extend everything long and pulse arm and leg up 1 inch and down 1 inch for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release everything down. Now we're gonna grip through all 10 fingers. You're gonna tuck your toes. We're gonna lift the knees to a hover. So hold here, feel those ribs draw in through center. I want you pressing out of the shoulder blades. We're gonna start to rock forward 1 inch and rock back 1 inch. Little rock forward and little rock back. This is gonna start to warm up through our shoulders and through our quads. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back through center, drop the knees. Now we untuck the toes, we extend the left arm forward, right leg goes all the way back. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, we round through the back, draw knee and elbow through center. Inhale, go long. Draw it in, and inhale, extend for 8, 7. Make the breath nice and big for 5, 4, 3, 2. We're coming into that pulse on this next one. Lengthen through the fingers and the toes and lift 1 inch and lower 1 inch. For 10, 9, 8. Nice and tight through that core. Knit your ribs together for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your hand and lower your knee. We're going to tuck the toes, grip through all 10 fingers, and send the hips all the way back high for a downward dog. So just take a few breaths here to pedal out through your heels, lengthening through the back of your legs. We're feeling that opening in the chest. The shoulders are away from the ears. Our face is nice and relaxed. We have 3, 2, on 1, we're going to ground through both heels, grip through all 10 fingers, and pull forward into a high plank. So from here, I want you pressing out through your shoulders, knit those ribs in through center. We're going to move between high plank and downward dog just for a few to warm up the core. We press the hips back, and we pull the hips forward. Press it back, and pull it forward. We exhale as we press back, and inhale as we pull forward. Let's go for 4, for 3, for 2. We're gonna hold the hips back on this next one. Now we lift the right leg all the way up, maybe opening up through that hip and pulling your heel towards your bum if that feels good, pulling your ribs in if they're starting to splay out. On your next exhale, we straighten back through the hips. We lengthen that leg. We tap the toe and we lift. Just tap the toe and lift. Just for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, we're gonna drop the toes and pull back forward into high plank. We hold for 5, 4, 3, 2. Send the hips all the way back. We repeat that sequence on the other side. Left leg lifts all the way, point through that toe, maybe opening up through the hip and pulling that heel towards your bum if that feels good. And on your next exhale, we straighten out through the hips, we lengthen the leg, we tap the toe and lift. Tap and lift. Let's go for 5, 4, for 3. We're coming down to the mat in 2, and 1. Beautiful. Drop those toes, pull forward into high plank, and then drop to your knees. Send your hips back and take a breath in child's pose. Beautiful work. All right, we're feeling a little bit warmer now, so let's get into some of the props. We're gonna grab onto that ball, swing your legs around, and come into a seated position. So we're gonna take that ball in between our knees and come to lie all the way down onto your back. Just take a breath here, in through the nose and out through the mouth. On your exhale, I want you to notice how your ribs start to connect to your back chain with that exhale. All right, so our feet are in line with our hips. That ball's in between your inner thighs. We're gonna take the hands behind the head, elbows are wide. Let's start with a crunch. We crunch through center, look to the tops of the knees and lower down. Exhale, lift, and inhale, lower. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's hold it up on this next one. Hands behind the head, or you can reach them long towards the end of the mat, and we pulse. Just up 1 inch and down 1 inch for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lay all the way down. Let's take our palms to the mat, hands beside your hips. We're gonna press equally into both feet, tuck through the tailbone, and start to lift up through that low back into a bridge. So just hold here, feel those inner thighs start to engage. All right, we're gonna tap the hips and lift. Just tap all the way and lift. Let's go 10, 9. So that ball in between your inner thighs is going to start to light things up. I want a little squeeze on that ball, but nothing too major. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's hold it up on this next one. Hold those hips all the way high. Now we're gonna lift both heels and then lower them down. So just lifting the heels and lowering them down. Lift and lower, lift and lower. We have 8. Calves are gonna start to fire up here. Let's go for 6. Keep those hips lifted. Can you lift 1 more inch? Let's go for 4, 3, 2. Keep those heels lifted on this next one. Now we tap the hips and we lift. So you've got a little hover of those heels. This is gonna start to make it a little bit more challenging through the backs of the legs and into those calves. Let's go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold the hips up on this next one. Now, your choice, you keep the heels lifted or you can lower them down. We're squeezing that ball, just little squeezes. We have 12, we have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Can you hold that squeeze? We pulse the hips up 1 inch and down 1 inch. I know it's burning here. Maybe you're starting to shake. And if you are, that's exactly where we want to be. So breathe into those shakes. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll yourself all the way down. Beautiful work. All right, now that ball stays in between your inner thighs. You're gonna plant your hands beside your hips if they're not already there, and we're just going to start to lift those knees into tabletop. So I want you to become aware of your low back here. If you feel your low back starting to lift way off the mat and you've got a big gap underneath your low back, I want you to bring some attention to tucking and imprinting that low back into the mat. So that'll create a little bit more engagement in your core, and it will also protect your low back from injury. So from here, we're gonna point through the toes, and we're just gonna lower the feet all the way down to tap the mat, and then lift them back up into tabletop. So lower those toes to the mat, tap, and lift into tabletop. Perfect. Lower and lift. We lower and lift. So if that's too much for you today and you're finding that your low back is really lifting, we just lower the toes halfway. So just go as low as you can to keep that core engagement and not lose the stability in your low back. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2. Now we're gonna hold those knees in tabletop. You have the option to add on. So either you stick with what you just did, or you take your hands behind your back, or behind your head. We're gonna lift up through the chest, look towards the tops of the knees. As your toes lower, we lower the upper body. And as the knees lift, we lift through the upper body and look to the knees. So lower and tap the mat, lift and crunch, lower and lift. Let's go 10, 9, 8, we exhale as we lift. 7, exhale, lift. 6, exhale, lift. For 5, 4, 3, 2. Now, wherever you are, those knees are gonna come into tabletop. If you're lifting through the chest, we stay there. If you're down on the mat, we stay there. You're gonna connect your toes, and we're just going to squeeze that ball. Squeeze the ball in between your inner thighs. This might start to shake. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Can you hold that squeeze? We've got one more round of pulses. Lift through the chest for 10, 9, squeeze that ball for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can hug your knees into your chest and lower down through your upper body. Beautiful work. Okay, we're warm, right? All right, we're gonna take that ball and you're gonna place it underneath your feet. So just take a second to get situated here. We're going to do a kind of similar series where we build. So you take it wherever you need to take it. Stay at level 1 if that's where you are today, or come along with me and build up. So we're gonna take our hands beside our hips, pressed into the mat. Your feet are on that ball. We're just gonna start to slide the legs long, rolling along that ball, and then pulling the knees back in. So this is level 1. If you wanna stay here the whole time, you stay here. Again, I want you to remain mindful of your low back. We're not arching through the low back. You should have like a little blueberry under there, or a full imprint if that helps with stability for you. All right, let's go for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, we've got level 2 here. So pull those knees in, take the hands behind the head, lift up through center to look to the tops of the knees. As your legs go long, we lower the upper body. As the knees pull in, we lift. We extend and lower. Pull it in and lift. Extend and lower. Pull it in and lift. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Can you pulse it in through center? Keep those knees in, little pulse of the upper body for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lay all the way down. You can grab that ball with your hands. We're gonna roll up to a seated position, and we're gonna take that ball behind our back. So it's gonna be in your mid back, about where your bra strap would be if you're wearing one. And we're going to extend the legs all the way long. So your legs are long, and this looks like a relaxed position, but I really want your legs to be active. So we're pointing through the toes. So even just here, you're gonna need some core engagement to keep your upper body lifted on that ball. So from here, we take the hands behind the head. We're gonna start with a center crunch. We lower back over the ball, and then we lift and look to the toes. Lower back and lift. Lower back and lift. Using the breath here, exhale as you lift. Inhale to lower. Let's go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Are we ready to get the legs into it? We're gonna lift on this next one. Right knee comes into your chest. We inhale as we lower and extend the leg long. Pull that knee in and extend the leg long. Just for 8, 7. This is level 2. For 5, 4, 3, 2. We've got level 3. Pull that knee into the chest. Twist your left elbow to that right knee. Come back through center and extend. Twist. So it's like a one-leg bicycle here. This is level 3. We have 6, 5. We rest in 4. Stick with it for 3, 2, and 1. Extend that leg long and relax your upper body over the ball. This should feel pretty good. Just relaxing those core muscles. We're gonna do this on the other side, and then we're moving into glutes. So when you're ready, we're gonna engage through the core. We're gonna lift up on the ball. We're going to take that left knee into your chest, and we're gonna lower down as that leg extends. We exhale, knee comes to the chest, and inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. If you're ready for level 3, we twist elbow to knee and extend that leg long. Twist elbow to knee and extend. Just 6. I know this is hard. For 5. We move on in 4, in 3, in 2, and 1. Release that leg long and relax over the ball. Take a breath. Whew. We are warm in the core. All right, let's sit up. We're gonna take that ball and come onto our side. So in order to get into this position, I want you to start on your knees. We're gonna begin here and take our hand to the mat. Then you're gonna extend that top leg long and place the ball behind your knee. So you're just gonna squeeze the back of your calf to the back of your leg. Our hand is pressing into the mat. We're pulling out of our shoulder. I want that knee, that supporting knee directly under your hip. So from here, you can take that arm all the way up to the sky. We've got that ball behind your leg if that feels okay. And then we're gonna lower the leg and lift. Lower that leg and lift. So we're getting into the side glute right here. Nice. Feels good to get a little break from the core. We will do a little bit more, but we're gonna move into our glute series right now. So let's go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, for 3, 2, we're coming into circles. Lift that leg all the way up and then draw circles with that knee, about the size of a dinner plate. Like you're drawing a circle on the side wall with your knee for 5, this direction, 4, 3, 2, can we reverse for 5, 4, 3, hold that ball for 2. All right, one more move in this position. We lift that leg in line with your hip. Reach your arm forward as you send that leg back. So squeeze through the glute to pull that leg back, and then sweep the leg forward as you swim your arm back. We switch and switch. Perfect. So we're nice and warm through the core, so you should feel a good amount of support here. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Grab that ball. Now we're going to come down onto your side, onto your forearm. Knees are stacked. Option here to take that ball in between your inner thighs again. So you're on your forearm and we're going to take a modified side plank. So you're going to lift out of your hips, pulling away from the mat like there's a candle and you don't want to get burned. We're going to pull out of our shoulder. We're not sinking down. Lift that top arm up if that feels okay, and we're just gonna start to lower the hips and lift. Lower and lift. So I want your hips going straight up and down. Pretend you're in between two panes of glass, and you cannot stick your bum back. We're just lowering and lifting for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, for 3, you got this, for 2. One more move here. We lift the hips and hold. We're gonna thread that top arm underneath for thread the needle, squaring your shoulders to the mat, and then lift it all the way back up. We thread that arm underneath and lift. Thread it down and lift for 6, 5. Moving on to glutes with that ball behind our knee in 3, in 2, and 1. Beautiful work. Lower those hips. Grab that ball. We're going to come into a 4-point kneel position. So that ball is going to come back behind your right leg, the leg that we just worked. We're in that 4-point kneel. Make sure that ball is nice and secure behind the back of your leg. You want to flex that foot with the ball and really squeeze the back of your calf to the back of your leg. So from here, you can take this on all fours, or you can at any time come down onto your forearms if that's more comfortable. We're just gonna start to press that heel up to the ceiling and then lower it all the way down. Press it up and lower it down. Perfect. So again, nice tight through the core as always. We're supporting that low back. I want you looking to the top of the mat and a nice long line from the crown of your head out the tailbone. So you'll notice that ball behind your leg, it's not adding any weight, but it kind of feels like it because we're forced to engage that hamstring just a little bit more. All right, let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2. We're gonna hold that leg up and then squeeze heel to your bum. So a little micro hamstring curl right here, just squeezing that heel to your bum for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Can you hold that heel up and pulse? Pulse that heel up to the ceiling while squeezing that ball for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Close that knee down. We're gonna open it out to the side for fire hydrant and close it up. Open that knee as wide as you can and close for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Can you hold that knee wide? Let's do circles here, just like we did in that modified side position. Little circles about the size of a dinner plate for 5, 4, 3, 2. Can you reverse? Take it the other direction for 5, 4, 3. We've got one more move in this position here. We're gonna pull the knee to the elbow and then send the heel back like you're kicking the opposite wall behind you. So pull that knee to elbow and then send the leg back at a diagonal. We squeeze it to the elbow and send it back at a diagonal. Let's go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Finish it out and close that knee up. Beautiful work. Let's take that ball out from behind our leg. You can just roll your arms out onto that ball, taking a modified child's pose here as a stretch. We're gonna take a little interlude and do some arms before we move on to the other side. So when you're ready, grab onto your hand weights. We're gonna take that ball between our inner thighs and come up onto our knees. We've got that ball in between our inner thighs. So we're just gonna squeeze it to keep that core engagement. So I want you to think about tilting your pelvis forward and engaging that ball in between your inner thighs. Let's take our weights in our hands and just start with a curl, all the way up to the shoulders and all the way down. We lift and lower. Perfect. So now you know what's coming on the other side. We're gonna finish out with that glute sequence. After we do a little bit of arms here, this is full body today. Let's curl it up and lower it down. We've got 6 more here. 5, pull those shoulders back. For 3, for 2, let's hold those arms at a 90-degree. We're gonna serve the platter, extend the arms long, and then draw the elbows back. Reach the fingertips forward and draw the elbows back. Perfect. So if this is too much sitting up on your knees, you can always come back and just sit on your heels or remove the ball, whatever's more comfortable. But in the spirit of full body, I want us to try to engage the core as much as possible here. You'll also feel this in the inner thighs if you've got the ball too. Let's go 3 more here. 2, let's hold the arms long on this next one. Little bend in the elbows. We're gonna open the arms wide, just no wider than your shoulders, and then come back in front of your chest. We open those arms wide and then close it up. Open the arms and close it up. Let's go 6, 5, nice and controlled. We don't want any swinging of the arms here. For 4, 3, 2, let's hold those arms wide on this next one. We take a serve the platter to the side, so squeeze those elbows into your waist and reach the arms long. Squeeze and reach for 10, 9. See if you can think about that oblique engagement as you pull those elbows in and then reach. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2. Can you hold those arms long? Little circles here, palms facing up. Micro circles here, just working the shoulders for 5 this direction. 4, 3, 2. Can we reverse for 5, 4, 3, 2. I know this is getting really hard, but let's try one more little sequence. We reach the arms all the way up overhead. That might feel like a break. We're gonna flip the palms forward and take the arms just over your shoulders. We're gonna pull the elbows down and reach the arms all the way up. Shoulder press for 8, 7, 6. We've got 5 more here, and then we finish our arm sequence with triceps. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the arms down, roll the shoulders back. So I'm gonna just turn to the side so you can see. I want you pitched forward at a bit of an angle here. We're tucking through the tailbone, protecting that low back as always. We're gonna take the arms down by your side and flip the palms back. We're just gonna lift the arms up and lower them to your hips. Lift those arms and lower to the hips. Perfect. So I want your head stacked nice and long. We're not letting the neck, fall down to the chest. It's nice and lifted to the top of the mat. Let's go 6, 5, palms facing back, 4, 3, 2, let's hold the palms by the hips. Now we're gonna curl the weights up and press them back. Curl it up and press it back. So nice tight grip through those weights. We're reaching them up to the shoulders and then sending them back for a tricep curl. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, one last move here to finish us off. Hold the weights back. Let's try to clap the hands behind your back and then release. So try to touch the weights and release. For 10, 9, little squeeze behind the back. For 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful work. All right, sit back, set your weights off to the side. We are gonna reverse out of that sequence that we just did. So we're gonna meet in tabletop with the ball behind your left leg. So we're in that tabletop position. That ball is right behind your left leg, pressing out of the shoulders, or maybe you're down on your forearms and that is perfectly fine too. We're gonna flex through that foot with the ball and just start to press it up to the ceiling and lower it down. Nice big press and lower. So you are way more than halfway through this workout and you already know what's coming, so you know you can conquer it. You've done it once before. So stick with me here. See this workout all the way through and just think about how amazing you're gonna feel after accomplishing this movement today. Let's go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, we're gonna hold that leg up and then squeeze heel to bum, little hamstring curl, just squeeze for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it up. Can you lift one more inch and pulse it here at the very top for 10, 9, just a little lift of that heel to the ceiling for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Close that knee up. We're gonna open it out to the side nice and wide, fire hydrant, and close it up. Nice and wide, and close. So, we've got that corset, that tight belt around your waist. We're staying nice and steady through the upper body, pressing into both hands, and making sure we're not sinking into that right hip. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, let's hold that leg wide. We have circles here, little circles about the size of a dinner plate. Let's go 5 this direction, 4, 3, 2. Can you reverse it for me here? For 5, 4, 3. We've got one more move here in this sequence, and 2. We're gonna pull that knee to your elbow and then send it back cross body like you're reaching your heel to the opposite wall. We pull that knee to elbow and send that leg back. Pull and reach. So you get a little squeeze of that oblique for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Finish it out and lower that knee. Perfect. Now we're gonna take that ball and we're gonna place it in between our inner thighs and come down into that modified side plank. So we're on our forearm. That ball is in between our inner thighs. We're gonna start by lifting our hip off the mat and extending that top arm to the sky. So remember, we're pulling away with that bottom rib like you've got a little candle, you're trying to avoid the flame. I want you to tap the hips and lift, tap and lift. We're really squeezing through that bottom side waist for 8, 7, 6, 5, for 4. If you're feeling this in your neck, you just look down towards that forearm for 2. Hold those hips high. We're gonna thread the needle, pull that top arm and thread it underneath, and then reach it all the way up. We square the shoulders with the mat and reach for 8, 7, for 6, 5, good for 4, keep with it, for 3, for 2, and 1. Beautiful. Sit those hips down. Now let's come into that side position. So starting on our knees, we're going to take that hand and press it down into the mat as we extend that top leg long. From here, you take that ball and place it behind your knee. So we're going to squeeze the back of your calf to the back of our leg, take that top arm up, and we're just going to start to lower that knee and lift. So if you're having trouble getting into position here, I want you to think about your supporting knee under your hip and that hand under your shoulder. We've got 8 here. Really squeezing that ball, bringing the calf to the back of your leg for 8, 7, 6, 5. Again, if your neck is bothering you here, we just look down towards your supporting hand for 5, 4, 3, 2, can you lift and hold? We've got circles here. Little circles with that knee nice and controlled for 5 this direction. 4, 3, 2, let's reverse. Take it the other way for 5, 4, 3, 2. Now hold that leg in line with your hip. We're going to reach the arm forward as you send that knee back, squeezing with the back of your glute. And now we sweep the arm back as that knee draws forward. We switch and switch for 8, 7. Keeping that squeeze on the ball for 6. You're almost there for 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1. See it through, close that knee, and come on up. Beautiful work. Let's take that ball out behind your leg and come back onto the mat for a final core burn and a stretch. So we're gonna lay all the way down onto the mat. This is our final core burn here, and then we'll do a little bit of a stretch. So let's start by taking the knees into tabletop. We're gonna take the ball on your right knee. This is gonna be a little tricky, but we're gonna curl up and you're gonna press your left elbow into that ball. So we're in a twist. That left elbow presses into the ball that's anchored on your right knee. So take a second to get here. If it doesn't feel good, just ditch the ball and do it without. So from here, we're gonna extend that left leg long and then pull it into the chest. So keeping that twist as you extend the leg and draw it in. Extend and draw it in just for 8, 7. You got this for 6, 5. We're almost done this class. 4, 3, 2. Can you hold both legs in tabletop? And now crunch up and press your elbow into that ball. I want to see a change in the shape of that ball. For 8, 7. We're working against the resistance for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Take that ball in between your ankles and reach your toes all the way up to the sky. Little interlude here before we move on to the other side. Let's reach the arms all the way up and just pulse. Try to touch that ball. Just for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Can you hold it up and squeeze that ball in between your ankles? Just little squeeze, squeeze, squeeze for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Grab that ball. Last side, last move of the whole class. We're taking the ball on that right and that left knee. Your right elbow is going to press into the ball and both hands come behind your head. So we just hold the upper body here. We're pressing that elbow into the ball. We extend the right leg long and draw it back in. Extend the leg long and draw it in. Beautiful. Just for 8, 7. You got this. Finish it out strong. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, we pulse to finish. Draw that knee in through tabletop and pulse the upper body. Little pulse and pulse for 8, 7, 6. Can you smile for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug the knees into your chest. You can set the ball off to the side. Let's just take a few big circles with those knees. So grab your knees in your hands, take them wide, and just open up through the inner thighs. Beautiful work. That was a long workout today, and you did it. So as you reconnect with your breath here and come back into your body, if you've left, I want you to feel a sense of gratitude, and I want you to feel proud of yourself for doing that today. Let's hug the right knee into the chest. Send the left leg all the way down and rest it on the mat. We're gonna pull that right knee over to the left side and look over to the right as you twist through your torso. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. Finding that stillness and that silence. One more breath. We come through center. We're gonna bend that left knee and take your right foot on your left thigh for thread the needle. So just pull that left knee into your chest. If it feels good and you want a little bit more pressure, we're gonna take the hand on that right knee and press it away to really open up through that hip. Nice deep breaths here. One more, and then we're gonna ground that left foot. You take your right leg all the way up to the sky and just grab onto the back of your leg, maybe pulling it towards you, lifting your upper body if that feels good. We're just gonna stretch into the back of that leg. One more here. And then we lower that right leg all the way down to the mat. Hug your left knee in and take a twist. Bring that left knee over to the right side as you look over to the left. Finding that nice spinal twist. As we come into the final moments here, I want you to think about the energy that you want to bring into the rest of your day. And let's think of one thing that we're grateful for in this moment. Coming back through center, we bend through that right knee, take your left foot on your right thigh, and draw that knee in towards your chest for thread the needle. Maybe taking your left hand on that left knee and pressing it out to find a little bit more space in through that hip. We've got one more breath here. Then we're gonna ground through that right foot. We lift the left leg all the way up, crawling your hands up the back of your leg and finding that hamstring stretch. Maybe lifting through your upper body if that feels good. Finding some length here. We've got our final breath. Breathe it in. And release that leg. Let's meet in a seated position to finish. All right, amazing work, guys. Let's take a final breath here to close out our practice. We're gonna take the arms all the way up, take that deep breath in through the nose, and as you exhale, we bring our hands through heart center. We lock in all that good energy you just created. Take it with you for your day. You should feel incredibly proud that you just took the time to move your body, shift your energy, and set yourself up for the best day possible. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you back on the mat again soon.